What on earth is that? It's a Journey into Comics Network production! All aboard!
I brought my pencil.
What do you wanna do with your life?
Walk on home, boy. Yeah.
Like anything gets to say like you did before. Make it green, make it bleed, make it really.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Rank 'em All. This is the show where we go through every single album on a band's discography and rank each song individually and come up with an amazing master list to let you guys know what we think about these songs. Today, joining me yet again is an amazing panel of dudes, the big four of this show. Welcome back again, Nick Maxon. How's it going, my friend?
It's going excellent. Glad to be
Fucking
here.
awesome.
Excited to be here.
Yes. Also joining us is the dongliest one. How are you? How's it going, bro?
Going good. It's going good. I'm uncomfortable now. Thank
The
you.
dongliest.
Chef Dong Sauce in the house.
Oh,
Guys, stop. I'm
these names are getting out of hand, but I love it.
getting completely out of hand.
And of course, the big four would be incomplete if we didn't also have with us the pod master, Brando. How's it going, brother?
It's going pretty good, man. It's going pretty good. We just got done, of course, ranking Master of Puppets. We have also done Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning. Go back and listen to those if this is your first time listening. And today, we are tackling And Justice for All. I'll tell you what, this album, most people who definitely say what I'm about to say, or say, well, Black Album was when they sold out. I remember when I first started working at my current job, there was another guy who started working with me, and I was wearing a Metallica shirt, and he goes, "Man, I think they really sold out on Injustice for All." Like,
Whoa.
that's the first time I'd ever heard that. I was like, "Whoa,
Whoa.
wait a minute, hold on. Do you mean Black Album?" No, Justice. They made a video.
That is true. They did release their first MTV music video for one,
Wow.
which actually wasn't supposed to be their first music video. Apparently there is like some footage somewhere of For Whom the Bell Tolls as a music video that never has been released.
There was also live footage for Seek and Destroy. There, way back when there was like a potential, they recorded it with some pretty good quality equipment at the time that they could get a hold of, and then just nothing ever came of it.
Dang.
But Justice for All came out in September 7th, 1988, with the lineup of James Hetfield, Lars Ulrich, Kirk Hammett, and new bass player Jason Newsted.
Nowhere to be found on the album.
I mean, he's there.
He's got writing credits on the first song.
Don't get used to seeing that. He's only got three. He only has three. That is the first of three songs that he has writing credits for, and he's still getting
one, and that's first song.
No, I mean across his entire Metallica tenure, he only has three.
So they granted him a seat on the council, but they did not give him the rank of master. Is that what happened?
We do not grant you rank of Master of Puppets.
That is a perfect analogy.
Sweet.
Jason is here. Production-wise, the album was kind of marred in production hell. They originally teamed up with producer Mike Klink. He was the guy who did Appetite for Destruction, and there were butting heads. They didn't vibe well with him. He wanted to do certain sound things. James and Lars are really taking the forefront of like where they wanted the sound to go, and of course those two guys have always been kind of seen as like the conductors of the train. Like wherever they're going is where the band's going, and hop on and help out if you want to. But here we are. The album was recorded in Los Angeles, so they actually did record this one closer to home. And when they lost Mike Klink and they kicked him to the curb, they brought back in the man Flemming Rasmussen, the guy who'd produced him for Ride and Master, to pretty much kind of finish it off, because they were really doing a lot of recording. They were also doing a lot of recording in and out of the studio. Like they would come in and they record some, and they would leave, because they were also on the Monsters of Rock tour. I remember a tidbit specifically of Kirk having to come back and finish up solos while they were on tour. So that's fun.
Whoa.
But Guys, does anybody else have any sort of thing to say about Injustice for All before we dive in?
This is the first album that I have of Metallica on vinyl that's like an original pressing.
The original pressing?
I mean, that's cool. I got it for $10.
That's cool.
Blackened doesn't work though,
Oh,
which sucks balls. But the rest of the album works pretty good. You know, it does. That's the only one that like really skips to the point where you're just like, I can't even find. You just need to go to track 2.
I finally bought the re-release of Justice around Black Friday last year. I've been waiting for so long, and then like Walmart had all their vinyl for like, I don't know, like $15-17, so I just picked it up then. Just happened to look through their vinyl and saw, oh, Justice, cool, I need this one.
Getting it.
You know, so absolutely. Justice for All, and Justice for All is a very long album at 65 minutes 33 seconds, not the longest that we'll encounter among their discography. But some of these songs are long.
oh,
And actually, there's something to be said about that, because on the vinyl, it actually gave a warning about the length of the album and said, it is a 2-disc album. Sorry, but the songs were long enough. We had to split it up. You know, enjoy. There's actually like a sticker. I still have it. It's in the other room. I would go grab it, but that's a lot of effort for me right now.
Yeah,
I understand.
touche. Not even touche, just touche.
Tosh.
So the first song, we gonna just dive right into the first song. Blackened. Writing credits for James, Lars, and Jason Newsted, coming in at 6 minutes 41 seconds, is the opening track of the album. The opening tracks have all been pretty powerful so far. Nate, I'll let you go first. What do you got to say about Blackened? Or I mean, could you even listen to it?
Well, I listened obviously with the Zune. I wasn't trying to do my listen through.
The almighty
Yeah,
Zune makes
The
it
almighty
return.
Zune, bro.
obviously with the Zoom.
Come on now, man. Like,
Of
get with the
course.
times. I can't wait to talk about this. I'm already having so much fun on this episode, you guys. It's great. So aggressive. This has a very aggressive intro punch to the throat thing with a reversed guitar sound that can't be done live, which I love. I love that they kind of fucked themselves into having to use a backing track to make Kirk's solo go the wrong. It's timey-wimey. One of the best choruses, in my opinion, that Metallica to this point. Now, I'm prefacing this note with I'm trying to remember when I'm writing my notes that the band doesn't exist past 1989 right now. You know, like I haven't got to the next album. I will and sometimes reference like, oh, you can tell where they were starting to feel out Justice because it's good to note. But the breakdown is brutal. More angular riffing, mutilation. Is one of my favorite lines in the song, obviously, when they're doing that whole like callback thing. The dual lead is great. I do have one question. Where to bass?
It got turned down.
Turned off, bro. It's not, I mean, we'll again talk about it later. There's a solo in there that Kirk just goes fucking nuts. And I was just like, whoa, okay. Does his fingers don't have a slowdown? All right. Thematically heavy, musically heavy. And I think that secretly it's also a statement on how they felt about losing Cliff Burton. Color our world blackened, because everything they had known at that point was not that, and they lost their friend, and all they could see, even if they were using other themes, again, James being very clever, being able to have this double entendre, there's some vibes that make me, in some of the things they're saying, really scream, you know, this was influenced by the death of Cliff. Yeah. The song to me is a 9.5 though. Brilliant song.
Right on. We'll go ahead with Nick next. What do you got to say about Blackened?
I really like this, especially as a first track. I'm one of those people that likes to consider where a song is played on the album. For a first song, it's fucking awesome. Great classic riff, awesome solo. I give it 8.25. Banger. It's a banger.
It's a
Certified
banger.
banger.
Dick, does this reach banger territory for you?
This is an 8.5 for me.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite songs on the album. This is what I consider a ripper. The song is really
Ooh.
nice.
It rips. Okay.
It's
Ripper
cool.
territory, huh?
And in this song, James showcases a little trick he learned, or maybe it's not his trick, maybe it's the producer's trick, but that little echo that he does, sorrow. Yeah, it's just like they showcase that same exact effect several times on this album. It's just they beat a dead horse after a few times. So
Well, when you find a new toy, when
yeah,
you find,
I agree. It's cool. It ended up being cool, and I think this is like the beginning of his like really repetitive use of
opposition.
yeah, it's like the very beginning of his like, repetitive use of sounds.
Compromise.
It's funny because when you when you mentioned like him kind of getting into that, Justice is where I really kind of feel like he really starts to find his lower voice.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe that started on Master, but like just his voice sounds different when he's singing on Justice compared to even Master of Puppets. Because
Definitely.
you could tell like with Kill Ride and Master, he's kind of up here. And then with Justice, he's like, his balls drop. Ooh. He starts getting into that. So Dick said 8.5. Nate, what did you say again?
9.5.
9.5. Okay, I want to make sure that I didn't mistype that. I gave it a 9. Again, note that I'm the guy that hasn't given any points, any 9 points. I just went single numbers all the way down with my things. I haven't done that. No, Blackened is an awesome opening. It's heavy. It's not as... It is thrashy, but it's not super thrashy. It goes like into bursts of thrash. That what Nate talked about, that reverse intro, that's such a cool story about that, how they recorded it, they didn't sound right, and then they just reversed it and like, that sounds cool, so they put that on the intro. Now he can never play it. But it just, when I hear this song, and then you don't hear the bass, but you're reminded of what Cliff brought to the band with his composition skills, and they definitely left their imprint, because I can feel Cliff's imprint all over this album. He's not there, but with what he taught James, with what he taught Kirk and Lars, and just his influence on the band is still there. Really, like overwhelmingly. I gave this song a 9, as I said. So, not the highest rated intro. Well, is it? Is it the highest rated intro so far?
It can't be.
It is.
Not better than Battery.
It is.
Yeah, when Dick ranks Battery at a fucking lowball 6 like a chump. Just spoiler alert if you haven't yet got to the fucking episode where we've done Master of Puppets.
You need
yet.
to go back to listen to that. Yeah, no.
Yeah, go listen to that.
Blackened is now sitting at the highest ranked intro song. But
What
up
have we
next
done?
is
What have we
Injustice
done?
for All. And Nate, I'll let you go first. Injustice for All is surprisingly not the longest song on the album. It's the second longest song on the album by 2 seconds. 9 minutes, 47 seconds. Got writing credits from James, Kirk, and Lars. What do you got to say about the title track?
Chef's kiss. It is absolute perfection. The acoustic intro is perfection. First line, halls of justice, painted green, money talking. Perfection. I'm just going to keep using that word. I hope maybe you'll figure it out. Their grief and trauma with so much attack and aggression in this song. More angular riffing. The solo section just fucking blisters, and you are like, wow, these guys have a real statement to say. They are so angry. Holy shit. So many intricate riffs working within each other. One of my favorite lines in the song, Lady Justice has been raped. Truth assassin. Thematically timeless, musically flawless. It is a 10.
Wow. 10 for Injustice for All from Nate. Dick, do you have the same enthusiasm?
No.
I didn't think so. 8?
I'm gonna give it an 8. It's just a really long, drawn-out song. It's a very jammy song. This whole album, that encompasses this entire album. This entire album is a giant fucking jam. It's a statement, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Nick?
I give it an 8. It's a banger. It's I love the introduction, and then when it kicks in there at the beginning, you're getting ready to get your balls hit. I really like it. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite of the title tracks, but it is completely badass. So if I gave it an 8.
So I'm breaking with the crowd here. I gave it a 7.
Wow.
I like the song, and I love the themes of the song. I even like the riffs. It's just too long. It drags on.
It's a long boy.
It drags on maybe about 2 minutes longer than when it needed to. I'll be honest with you. Like, my score is emphatically because of the length. If it was shorter, it would have got a much higher score from me. Simply because while I like the song, I'm kind of done with it by the time the 5-minute mark kind of comes around. It's like it doesn't capture me like the other title tracks do. Even other tracks on this very album, it doesn't capture me that way. It's got, as I said, it's got great riffs, great theme, great intro. It's not a bad song by any means, but it could have been a little shorter. Eye of the Beholder is track 3. Ironically, I did not know this. This was a single.
Really? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
This is the second single on the album and was released in October of '88 as a single with the cover of Bread Fan. I was not aware of that. There's so also check this out. I love this. So there's a radio edit of Eye of the Beholder.
Okay.
And
Eye of the Beholder clocks in at 6 minutes 25 seconds. Radio edit version is 5 minutes 58 seconds. They still thought it was too damn long.
They cut what, like nearly 30 seconds?
Yeah. So
Dang.
I'll just lead off with this one because I don't really have much else to say about it. Eye of the Beholder. It's got some. It doesn't do it for me that much. I gave this one a 7 as well. I like the pre-chorus, the riff in that. The verses don't do it for me though. So we'll go with Nick next. What do you got for Eye of the Beholder?
I don't have a whole lot for it. I made a note about liking the vocal delivery. But other than that, it was kind of a forgettable one for me. I give it a 7.25. It's not sticking out to me very much.
Yeah, same. Dick?
7.5. Same as you guys, not much. I remember thinking to myself, like, wow, this kind of just sounds like maybe not musically, but in terms of lyrics, it sounds like a continuation of And Justice, where they're talking about like freedom of speech and all that. It's dead. You don't have it.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Oh, okay.
Nate?
I think that this is a song that is kind of overlooked. I think it's simple but brutal. Could be maybe the dark horse of the album is like a song that doesn't get enough props, and I can see where they wanted to maybe make it a single for the radio. It does make sense to me. However, this song is a song that has to really grow on you, and for it to really grow on you, you have to have listened to it time and time and time and time again to find little tiny things you really like, because there's not one thing that's so catchy that you can just sing along. It's angular and unconventional. That's one thing I have in my notes. The exotic scales in the solo are cool, but this song for me is above middle of the road. It's an 8.25.
All right. Yeah. Eye of the Beholder. Okay. So like, I like the riff and I like the pre-chorus, and then going into the chorus. I like that stuff, but everything else about that song is kind of forgettable to me. This next song is anything but forgettable. It is one. It was the third single off the album. It has writing credits. I didn't say writing credits for Eye of the Beholder, did I? Or for... okay, so Justice and Eye of the Beholder, both of those songs have Kirk, James, and Lars for both of those. One has just James and Lars. One clocks in at was that 7 minutes and 27 seconds, so Long Boy as well. It was the third single off the album. I always thought it was the lead single, but it is not. It is the third. And it also has a radio edit as well, whereas the album version is 7 minutes and 27 seconds. The radio edit is 5 minutes and 2 seconds. So cut out quite a bit. But that also the music video version uses the radio edit. They did do a version for the video that is the longer version of the song. But start with Nate this time. Nate, what do you guys say about 1?
I feel like you started with me a lot.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, because I got. It's okay. It's not a bad thing.
All right, then. Screw you. No. All right, then. My bad.
It's okay. I just want to give the other guys a turn to talk first. It's all right.
Nick, you go first. I'm sorry.
All right. I'll just start off the bat and say I'm giving this one the big old 10. It's got one of the best intros that they've ever done. One of my favorite intros to any song ever. You raising your hand to talk, Nate, or
no? I was high-fiving you.
Oh, I thought you were amening. Like
no, I was like, yeah.
Let's see. Immediately and throughout, the vocals and the lyrics are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like you're right there with them. The guitar solo, they got a guitar solo at the very beginning. They've got one after what is the second chorus, and then it's the transition into the second part of the song is one of the best. And then, I mean, the whole song is amazing. All the solos are fucking awesome. The lyrics, when they come into the second part of the song, the breakdown there, it's just you feel like you feel like you're in the middle of a fight. So yeah, I'm giving it the perfect 10. It's one of the best songs.
Dick.
I'm gonna have to agree. 10. I went out before we started recording this. I was sitting there looking at the track list, like wondering myself, am I actually gonna give any song on this album a 10? But I thinking about it, I have to give 1 a 10 because that entire second half of the song is just blistering and mean, and that the machine gun fucking double bass and the machine gun fucking just chugs and just and then the beautiful first half of the song, and then just all those memories of trying to beat this song on just hard on Guitar Hero.
Back to Guitar Hero. Oh shit, here we go.
Always back to Guitar Hero.
Just trying to beat it on hard for me. And then eventually I tried to beat it on Expert. It's even harder on Expert.
Oh, yeah.
Song.
But
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Guitar Hero 3 was the first time I ever heard this song as well. So a lot of fond memories of Guitar Hero 3.
I always had a hard time, if someone says, what is your one favorite Metallica song? I always would say 1. Because I feel like 1 really encapsulates everything that the band can do. They're very melodic, very moody. Again, fitting that mood, just like we talked about on the Master Puppets rank with The Thing That Should Not Be in Welcome Home, where like the very first part of this is very somber. It sets the mood, of course, with the whole like sound effect with the gunfire and like mortars firing. The really cool that like I was describing this song, Dick, to our team leader, Teresa.
Yeah.
And she was very interested in it, and she downloaded it and she listened to it.
Really?
She loved it. She goes, it was a ride. It's like it was very scary and haunting for that beginning part. Also, I mentioned how Kirk had to fly back to the studio to finish the song. This was the song. And it was a solo. And it wasn't the last solo. It was the second solo that was giving him the most problems. Where it had to be that middle ground of not too melodic, not too aggressive. And this song is a freaking masterpiece. I give it a 10.
Oh my. Haunting intro. We've said it. Everybody has used those words.
Haunting.
Again, I'm taken immediately back and can feel myself as a kid listening to this for the first time and just getting hit with all these different emotions. The first half is a full departure from thrash. While there's some heavy guitar, there's zero thrash in this. It's very driven by the classical influences. You can definitely tell throughout the double bass, and then all of a sudden we're off to the races. Here we go, punching you right in the balls, darkness imprisoning me. It's amazing. Last of the things I have in my notes, the finger tap solo is one of the greatest solos of all time. And here we are, folks. We've reached it. Our first perfect score. It is a 10.
Wow.
On my notes, just so you guys know I'm not saying it. It's there.
Hell yes.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
I see what you did there.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
There's just not much more that you can say about the song. I mean, they really knocked it out of the park with their execution on this. Like,
I also have a story about this song.
okay, then, like, go ahead and tell your story.
Remember when I talked about how I maybe borrowed some lyrics from Damage Incorporated or Disposable Heroes? It was Disposable Heroes.
Yeah.
We were in class, in history class, and I had to write a paper, I remember, and it was supposed to be as if I was in war. I literally wrote the entire song of One, added some lyrics from fucking from Disposable Heroes, and got an A+. A+. The teacher, here's the greatest part. He has no idea that happened. And I thought it was clever because what does Kirk Hammett say? A good artist will borrow, a great artist steals.
Yep. Just straight up stole it.
I still have that paper somewhere. I kept it because I was like, that's fucking hilarious. How'd I do that?
Did you put that next to the biology report?
It's there. Yes, absolutely. That's accurate. It is next to the
right.
biology report.
The next song is The Shortest Straw. Coming out of One. Such a powerful song. The first song so far in our ranking that has the perfect rank of 10s across the board. I don't think Shortest Straw is going to get that here. We'll start with Dick this time. Dick, what did you think about The Shortest Straw?
I give it like it's a cool song. I give it an 8.
An 8, okay.
It's got that staccato, fucking just rapid fire vocal. Really rapid fire. And then again, this is another one of those songs where James had that one like recall trick, like that delay, that weird echo that he does on this album.
Tight echo he does.
Going for you, Shortest Straw. Nick, what do you got to say about The Shortest Straw?
I gave it a 7.5.
Okay.
Got classic riffs, super catchy chorus.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the solo. There's a lot to the solo. He did a lot of different weird things in it.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, you're right. Because I was thinking about my own rating. I'm like, man, did I rate this a little too high for my own person? Nope. Solo's right in there. Nate, we'll hit with you next.
The Shortest Straw, in my opinion, is a heavy headbanger. It's a thrashy little number. Angular riffs, cool.
And you're saying that a lot in this. Angular.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Very angular.
This album is very angular. They're coming very angularly. That sounds wrong.
They're getting a good arch.
Yeah, I'm with you, Nick. Like, what kind of angles are we talking? Obtuse, acute, like right, full on. Just
Definitely obtuse angles.
Acute. All these songs are acute.
They are all acute. Honestly, if you are listening with headphones, deep in there, I hear a bass. His name is Jason.
He's there. Oh yeah, this song is where you can really hear it.
The shortest straw has been pulled for you. But I think that the solo at the end is not the most memorable, in my opinion. Like, I honestly, right now, couldn't sing you one line from that solo in my head because it just does not hit with me at all and never has.
Okay.
The song is an 8.25 though. It's not bad. I like it.
Okay. You rated you definitely rated it the highest of us all because I gave it an 8. There's not much else that I could really say about it. I used to have a Shortest Straw shirt, which was of all songs you're going to make a shirt about. They made one about The Shortest Straw has been pulled for you. But the next song, Harvester of Sorrow. Harvester of Sorrow was the first single off the album in August of '88. I did not know this until we were doing this. And so did they have to cut it down? I'm double checking. No, they didn't. The Harvester of Sorrow is the next to shortest song on the entire album. So they didn't have to cut anything. Because it ranks in at 5 minutes and 46 seconds. Has writing credits as James and Lars. Also, I didn't say that for Shortest Straw. It's just James and Lars. Harvester of Sorrow is, in my opinion, this is like the evolved version of like For Whom the Bell Tolls, as far as like just chunky, just boom, boom, you know, we're not thrashing here. It's that slow headbang that Nick talked about on the last episode. You're just in the groove with them. And this song is bass. There's some bass on this one as well. And I gave it a 9. So Nate, I guess we'll go to you next. Nate, what do you guys say about Harvester?
I think this song is perfectly blending heavy with clean. It has a nice way of like making all the guitar tones feel very important. The tribal drums are incredible. I give, you take. You know, I fucking love that line. Solo section grooves, evil dual leads are amazing. When they come back in, and I think I'm just gonna future trip like a couple years here. Live Shit Binge and Purge, when they do this song, and he comes in with All Have Said Their Prayers, and there's like this long and he like catches up to it. Fucking masterful. I wish that part of it was in the actual album. It's not, but still love the song. The outro's clever, blending the chorus with the intro. You know, you've got the chorus doing its thing. The intro comes over top of it with the fade, and you don't really get that with Metallica where they're back to the front. See what I did there? This song is a 9.
9. All right. Nick, how about you?
I get a 7.5. It's one of my favorites on the album. I love the intro. And it's just one of his best vocal performances on the whole album, in my opinion.
I kind of agree there. Other than one, maybe this one really sticks out to me. Dick, I guess you're last, man. What you got?
Let's go with 8.5. Yeah, I agree with Nick. It's one of the best vocal performances, and it's yet again another one of those, where he pulled the production on his vocals quite a bit that I've been naming off on these. It's one of 3 songs that I remember where he really did that a lot. But another cool thing is I like about this is it really shows what's to come in the next album.
Mm-hmm.
I think with James.
Absolutely. So I got a little funny story really quick.
Sure.
In junior high,
Oh, I'm so glad you're bringing this up. Fuck yes.
You don't even know what story I'm talking about.
Are you going to bring up the alternate song lyrics you wrote?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so you didn't know where I'm going.
Motherfucker, I never forgot that shit.
So, like, I wrote up a parody to Harvester of Sorrow called Beer in the Bottle. And I found it like months ago. I wish I had it out for this because it is really funny. Because it's like something about like, I've been drunk. It'll soon be here. Tilt head back, in flows beer. And just sing it to like the exact theme of the song. And it's like, you know, instead of Harvester of Sorrow, you say beer in the bottle. You know, beer in the bottle. Then they got the guy over there going back up. So get you drunk all the time. It's like so stupid.
It sounds great.
It would be cool. I always thought like a parody of that song would be funny. And the more that you play the song, the worse the song actually gets compositionally. Like the whole band starts falling apart because they just keep getting drunker as the song goes on.
That's
it even
great.
gets to a spot where you just start flipping around the lyrics and where you become so drunk that you're dyslexic.
Ooh.
But the next song, Frayed Ends of Sanity, is they borrowed from the Wizard of Oz here, or stole. I'm not sure which. Maybe borrowed. But it was funny because I don't know. Like I can't remember who it was. It might have been Nate for all I know. Thought that they were saying Oreos at the beginning of the song. Did you write it? Oreos? Oreos. Okay. I just remember that for somewhere in the back of the cockles of my brain. Nate, since you have your notes, go ahead and go first, bud.
Yeah, Oreos, Rios. That's what it sounds like to me every time. Lead in riff is more jam, less thrash. The pre-verse is very catchy. Simple chorus, it still slays. It's throughout the song there are just wall of guitars that you just kill you every time. Waves of Fear, They Pull Me Under, one of my favorite lines. Made sure to write that down. Dual guitar interlude is amazing. The solo trade-off is rad, but weirdly at the end forgettable. I have a couple more pages of notes here. The sharp pivot out of the interlude back into the verse is really cool. It's one of the things that kind of saved the song for me. Dig the riff variation in the outro. It gets an 8 for me. It almost got a 5 for me because last night as I was trying to listen through the album, I fell asleep sitting up to Frayed Ends of Sanity. I was like one verse in and I just was like, oh shit, I was asleep. I got to go to bed.
This song is so bad it put me to sleep. Nick, what you got for me, bud?
I gave it a 7. It's I don't want to say least favorite, but let's say least memorable on the album for me. I made a note about the transition to the solo being really awesome. I couldn't mouth it off to you right now, but yeah, maybe I'm losing steam at the end of the album. Maybe it's because I know what's coming up after the song, that my mind is already somewhere else. But yeah, Frayed Ends gets a 7 from me.
Same here. I gave it a 7. I'm right with you, Nick. This song is kind of forgettable. This song is right there with Eye of the Beholder for me. You know, in a way, I feel guilty about giving Injustice for All a 7 because I feel like it's a better song than this. But I just on my re-listen to it, it was just to the point of like, for just sheer length, it was like, all right, guys, I get it. But no, 7 here as well. Dick, do you have anything else to add in your score?
I got a 7.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember from this song is the Oreo.
Oreos, yeah. I mean, Oreos are good.
That's all I remember. I mean, from here out, like that's basically how it's gonna be for me because I didn't get this far in my re-listen, so it's tough.
He had to bring 30% to rank them all.
I did pretty good today. I think I did pretty good today.
I'm just giving you a hard time. I love you, bro.
I didn't mention that Frayed Ends of Sanity also has a Kirk, Lars, and James writing credit. On the next song is the longest song on the album at 9 minutes and 49 seconds. Writing credits to James Hetfield, Lars Ulrich, and Cliff Burton. Being his last writing credit. To Live Is to Die, instrumental, the 4th instrumental of the instrumentals. And probably, honestly, my least favorite. I like it. I don't know. Nick, how about you go first? Tell me what you think about it before I give my score.
I really like it. I think it's got a weird. The intro's a little weird. The transition, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
The transition from the first part of the song to the or the first riff of the song to the second. The way it melds into each other weird. I don't know about that. But I really, really like it. It's not my favorite of the instrumentals. I give it a 9.25. It's still one of my favorite songs that they've done. I don't, my musical vernacular is not terribly strong, but somewhere in the middle, it like drops down and the guitar in the middle is very, very awesome. It gets quiet. But yeah, it's one of my favorite songs that they've done. It's probably my second or third favorite of the instrumentals. And you can definitely tell that there's some Cliff in there. So
yeah, absolutely. Dick, what you got on this one?
I don't know. I don't remember this song whatsoever.
you're gonna ruin the ranking of this song.
I know.
You're gonna ruin it.
I don't remember this song whatsoever. Again, I didn't get this far in my re-listen. I think, and to be honest, I only got to about halfway through one in my re-listen from yesterday to today. So the rest has all been off memory. I'll give it a 7. I'll give it a 7.
Nate, go ahead, bud. You don't look very happy, Nate.
Here I come with notes and things to actually say. Okay. I think that the intro has a hauntingly beautiful guitar. I feel like that's a riff that Cliff was probably always just playing on the bus, something that was his maybe, or maybe it was James, who knows, but I feel it really spoke Cliff to me when I heard it. It's very sullen in tone. Of course, immediately transitions into that very heavy groove that is the majority of the song that still gives you the headbang vibes, which you really love. Later in the song, it's like one of the first real deep solos that happen. Kirk is pouring his fucking heart out to his friend. You can hear it in the tones and in how he is. Just listen to how he's speaking through his guitar, because it's there. It's like it makes me shake with emotion when I think about it. The breakdown is beautiful and heartbreaking. That's what Nick was just talking about, where it really drops off in that. It really just like takes you back to like, oh God, real life has happened and like shit got us here, Of course, Cliff lives on in that moment specifically. It's almost like he's talking to the fans of Metallica in this last breath of his existence, which is actually, in my opinion, and I don't know if this is factual, we'd need probably to look. It sounded to me on the re-listen that part where it's just the one guitar, very, very low, dropped off, is actually his demo, like a demo tape. It has a demo tape quality to if you're really listening to the mix.
I love when bands do that.
Mm-hmm. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful tribute, because that's actually him then talking through his music. It's not somebody playing his riff trying to recreate. 7 minutes and 35 seconds. We finally have words, a poem written by Cliff, which is amazing, spoken by James. The music is an awesome tribute to their fallen friend, and this song is, in my opinion, a 9. I love this track. Yeah.
So the reason why I was a bit torn is that I kind of feel like the riff itself is a bit, I don't know. It's a little.
It does
boring.
kind of draw on.
It draws on. Again, the length issue with the Injustice for me definitely hits home here. But the difference is that there's different movements here, just like you said. With the different solo, that weird intro, but then when the whole band kind of crescendos in before that guitar spot that you were saying, like that gets me. And then and then the sound just completely drops off into that guitar. And for the very first time that I can recall, maybe I'm not right here, but it's very apparent they're using strings to accent the music here. And that's something that would come later on within the Black Album, as well as like they would, then they would team up with Michael Kamen to do that. So, but they dabbled with it here. I gave it an 8 out of the instrumentals of the first 4 albums. It is my least favorite, probably in due just with length and how long it drags. But there's some cool spots in here for sure. But we are on the last song of the album, Dyers Eve. We'll start with the guy with no words. Dick, what do you got to say?
I remember liking this song.
I love that you just called him out like that. That was beautiful.
I just say.
On my original list of this song years ago, I remember enjoying the song, but I don't. Right now, I don't remember it. Go ahead, it's 8.
He's like, let's pull a number out of this here.
That's what I got to do. I do remember enjoying this song a lot.
Yeah.
Nick on Guitar Hero Metallica, wasn't it?
Yeah, I want to say it was. I could be wrong, but Nick, we'll go to you next. What do you got to say about Dyers Eve?
I want to start by saying that when I give it an 8, my 8 matters.
It's a valued and thought after 8.
Yeah, it earned 8 as opposed to just being thrown at. So, really powerful vocals, really hard hitting riffs, and I thought Lars really killed it on this one. The drums were pretty wicked.
Oh,
on this
definitely. I agree with you 100% on that. He definitely brought it. I mean, he brought it for the whole album, but that song, there's a reason why that song doesn't get played a lot live, especially now.
Yeah, because he can't do it.
I mean, he can. They pulled
He's
it
tired.
out.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He's pulled it out, man, and they've done it. But after that, he's like,
Maybe finish up with that one. There we go.
Nate, you go ahead and go next.
All right, brother. I think this is an immediate headbanger. You're
Mhm.
just immediately in the groove of doing the thing. So fucking thrashy. Oh my god.
Yes, this is a thrashy song.
The drums are insane. Nick, you nailed it when you said they're just wicked. They're amazing. Lars really kills it. Thematically relatable. This is spoken in hey, I'm a growing up kid, 16, 17. I'm trying to find my own way, but my parent doesn't value my opinion. They don't think I exist as a person. They don't want me to be essentially other than what they tell me to be. And I love that. And that there's so much duality within the lyrical content of this song that really just catches you. The guitar sits back at times to let the drum shine. This is a Cliff move done by Kirk and James to let not the bass shine, but to let the drum shine. It's the weirdest, not what you would expect back asswards thing, but it's amazing. One of my favorite lines is "I'm in hell without you," obviously, towards the end there. The outro raps fast. There are lyrics, and you're like, oh, they might go into another chorus, and you look down at your Zune or your player, and it's 5 seconds left.
The fucking Zoom.
You look down at your Zoom or whatever else you're using. Are you sponsored by Zoom?
No, because if we were getting Microsoft money, you would know. Trust me.
Goodness.
It's a 9 for me, my friends.
A 9. All right. I gave it an 8. We almost had another perfect run through of numbers where Dick and Nick gave it 8s. I gave it an 8 as well. It's the thrashiest song on the album.
Dick's 8 could have been a 4, though, man. He guessed.
Yeah.
He guessed.
He thinks I had no bearing.
He might have said 15, and we would have been like, I guess that's what we're going with now. 15.
I haven't heard the song in 6 years, but damn it, Dick.
So I think this 8 deserved it more than my "To Live Is to Die" score, which I don't know.
Dude,
I don't remember that
I'm
song
not
at
happy
all.
with you about your "To Live Is to Die" vote. I'm
Go
not
back
happy
and
with-
listen to that and
I
text
will.
us what your actual
I
score
will.
is.
I will.
So I gave Dyers Eve an 8. I think it's relentless. Just like what we said on the Master of Puppets rank episode with Damage Inc. Like they come in with Dyers Eve. Dyers Eve hits you because "To Live Is to Die" ends with almost ends with that same intro weave with you're on this guitar. It's almost like you're on a boat, just bopping.
And then this song comes in just slamming.
Like, whoa, all right, I'm awake. Nate fell asleep listening to "Live Is to Die" last night, and he's like, hey, whoa, I'm awake with Dyers Eve.
If I would have got to the end of that, if I would have got all the way no, I fell asleep on Frayed Ends of Sanity.
I know, I'm just blowing you shit.
No, yeah, but still, I mean, if I would have got to Dyers Eve and woke up then, that would have been startling. Like, holy shit, what's happening?
No, dude, the song kicks. This is a really good album. So now that we've got all the songs ranked, of course, the highest ranked song on the album is 1 with 10. Our first perfect score across the entire rankings so far. The lowest ranked song on the album was the Frayed Ends of Sanity at 7.25, and Brando, mine, my average ranking is 8.1. Nate, yours is an even or an odd 9. I almost said even 9, but 9's not yet. Dick, yours is an 8. I mean, it's technically an 8.05555555556, but I'm just gonna say an 8.
Fair.
And
Sounds about right.
for all
Did you just draw that out of your hat, Brando? I think I'm gonna just say 8.
Nick got an 8.08, so we'll just call that an 8 as well. Yes, with a master album average of 8.3, that sets now at number 3 on the album list, with
Just above Kill 'Em All.
Kill 'Em All's a 7.57. Then Justice is coming in with an 8.3. and then Master of Puppets 8.4, and then I'm sorry, Ride the Lightning 8.4, and Master of Puppets 8.8. That's weird. That is where we are at, folks. We are going to be hitting Metallica, the self-titled album, the Black Album, on the next episode. But does anybody have any final thoughts before we wrap this one up here?
This was hard to get through.
It was because you didn't listen to the whole damn thing.
I did.
You should have just said it was impossible to get through, because that's the truth.
I listened to the whole thing last week.
Fair enough.
Oh, okay, last week.
Not on since then.
I'll say, like, if it was just last week, you don't remember To Live Is to Die? No.
We can either do this on air or off air, Dick. It's up to you.
My final thoughts are, considering how long it took to get to this point for their album to come out. I mean, it's like a 2-year time gap. That's a lot of time of them still going out on the road and trying to do things while also recording, while also doing everything else they were doing, and not really paying attention to that. They had this big trauma and grief monster. I mean, witnessing what they experienced with the death of Cliff Burton firsthand will scar a person deep down. And those traumas are things that were never dealt with. And it's evident in their music. They're so fucking mad. They're mad. They feel the world slighted them and took their friend. And they want justice as best they could. And this was the only way they could serve justice to the world, was by making this album. Not to be punny about it, but that's just really kind of how it seems to me.
So the Dyers Eve. Okay, Dyers Eve was not played live until 16 years later after it was recorded, and it debuted on the Madly in Anger with You tour in 2000.
Wow, during Saint Anger, eh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, awesome. So you couldn't hear Lars's snare very well, is what you're saying.
No snare, no bass.
Dyers Eve light.
Yeah.
Tonk, tonk. Yeah, no, I mean, Justice is it's a landmark album for them for sure, because as I mentioned in the last episode that we did, like, this was the teetering of them getting into that radio airplay, finally getting into the MTV realm, and basically just giving them, like, with how long these songs were, with One and Harvester and and stuff like that, like giving them just a little bit of a taste of what the band can do, and that just made what would become the mainstream, and just a few years later hunger more for what the band had to offer. Like, quite literally, you're thinking about it, like, just one album prior, they're opening for Ozzy, and now they're doing headline tours across the country in stadiums or big venues, and now they are the headliners. Now this band is becoming bigger than they ever imagined it could be, and they're still going to grow and still get bigger and they're well on their way to becoming the biggest heavy metal band of all time. And this album is definitely where that kind of teeters off into that rank, I guess. But I guess that's all I got for me, man.
Anybody else have any final thoughts before we close?
I forgot them.
Yeah.
I loved it. Great album.
Yeah.
It is a great album. I do encourage everybody to go back and listen to the other episodes of Rank 'Em All and continue on our journey of ranking them all as we continue on to the Black Album and beyond. Thank you guys so much for joining us here today. As always, you can check out the Rank 'Em All podcast on as of right now, the podcast review feed. You can also get the video version on the YouTube of Journey into Comics Network.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure to check out all of our podcasts on the different platforms: iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Castbox, whatever the fuck. You know where to find them. Just search Journey into Comic Network, Podcastrophe, Game Addicts Podcast. You'll find all of us. That's what's up. You see how I did that? Pulled that off there?
Yeah.
And I think that's going to do it.
That right in there.
I think that's going to do it for this week's episode. I have been panelist Nate.
I've been panelist Brando.
I have been panelist Nick.
And I have been panelist Dick.
God, I thought he was going to say panelist 30%, and I was going to fall out, but he kept it pro. I love it. All right, guys. Well, for Rank 'Em All, we will see you guys next time. Later.
Later.